Let me start with an issue I brought to you first last night, one where I despair about what this country's doing to itself, one where our standing is diminished globally and where people of sound mind and strong values are going to wonder what Australia stands for anymore. Until now, you know I've been very supportive of what the Albanese Labor government has done in foreign policy. I was worried before the election, absolutely, about the Beijing apologists in the Labor Party, that they might hold sway and that Labor might kowtow to China. But Anthony Albanese, Penny Wong and Richard Marles have not put a foot wrong in standing up to China, also in engaging through the Quad with India, Japan and the US, in backing AUKUS with the UK and the US, in reasserting the importance of the Pacific family and being energetic with Solomon Islands, Fiji, Papua New Guinea. They've been solid too on Ukraine. Tick, tick, tick. The only time Labor's been embarrassing in foreign affairs is when they've gone with their fact-free virtue signalling on climate change, which, together with their domestic energy policies, is eventually going to do them in. But on the hard-nosed diplomatic issues of the day, Labor has been strong until yesterday. The decision to backflip, back down, retreat on recognising West Jerusalem as the capital of Israel is weak. And it's weak in a dangerous way. In the Middle East, more than anywhere else, weakness is provocative. Yes, this is an insult to Israel, our strongest partner in the Middle East and an important friend. Yes, it abandons a position held along with the US, our key alliance partner. Yes, it was done in a secretive, shambolic way that makes our country look sneaky and uncertain. Yes, it worries even some within Labor because it bows to pressure from the hard left in Australia and the spineless diplomacy that dominates the United Nations. But if you really want to understand how bad this decision was, you only have to look at who welcomes it. Yeah, this is Hamas. Hamas is the Sunni Islamist terrorist outfit that runs the Gaza Strip, conducts terrorist killings and abductions, and fires deadly rockets indiscriminately into Israel. Hamas exists to eliminate Jews and to destroy Israel. Hamas is listed as a terrorist organisation by Australia. Yeah, it's listed by the US, the UK, the European Union, Canada and Japan as well. That's what Hamas is. A terrorist organisation. That's what it stands for. And Hamas has welcomed Australia's decision. This Palestinian Islamic resistance movement of Hamas has issued a statement hailing the Albanese government's move. The statement says Hamas welcomes the Australian government's decision to drop recognition of, quote, occupied Jerusalem as the capital of the Israeli occupation state, and it considers this a step in the direction of supporting Palestinian rights. It goes on to say the decision opens the way for free countries to withdraw recognition of the Israeli occupation entity and expose its crimes and terrorist acts until Palestinians enjoy basic rights and freedom. Just horrible, hate-filled and misleading stuff. This is the sort of propaganda that the Australian government's decision has fuelled. And on one score, Hamas is right. This does make it easier for other countries to weaken their support for Israel or fail to recognise the inevitable, and that is that Jerusalem must always be the capital of Israel. If your diplomatic decision is winning praise from Hamas, if the foreign policy of Australia has changed in a way that delights the terrorist organisation of Hamas, it is a fair indication you have pulled the wrong lever. This is a blunder, a weaselly backtrack that will go down in history. US President Joe Biden has stuck by Donald Trump's move to shift the US embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Australia has often prided itself in pointing out that back in 1947 at the United Nations, we were the very first nation to vote in favour of the creation of the State of Israel. Now we go down as the first nation to properly recognise Jerusalem as Israel's capital and then retreat in dishonour.